feeling great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Broadway Musical Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 975 of the Broadway Musical Answer Show. Today we're not talking about immigration, we're talking about our favorite Broadway musicals. How would that be? Wouldn't that be fun if we were talking about fun things like Guys and Dolls, Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, Miss Saigon, Rent, Wicked? What are your favorite musicals? That's what we should talk about today. We would all have much more fun than the sad state of affairs when it comes to immigration. I got West Side Story in the house. The Jets and the Sharks. Gotta love it. Les Mis is the best. Nurse Laura is correct. Les Mis is the top of the heap. No pun intended. I love Les Mis. I love Les Mis. It's my absolute favorite. One Day More is probably my favorite song. I listen to it often. We can't just talk about musicals today, though, because we do have lots of important immigration things to talk about. You have questions, we have answers. That was somebody's slogan back in the day. You have questions, we have answers. Who was that? I don't know. HMS Pinafore. I don't even know what that is. Wicked for Good. Oh, you like that song? Yeah, that's a great song. That's my wife's favorite musical. Wicked is my wife's favorite musical. She didn't like Rent. I liked Rent. I saw it 2 years in a row. I really liked it. Another one of my favorites, a small little musical that I like, is called Sundays in the Park with George by Stephen Sondheim. It's great, great, great. Lion King is great. When we took the kids to Lion King and those big lions and everybody came in. Lady says Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom. Oh, two good ones, Lady. But in Lion King, when all the giraffes and the lions and everybody come down the hallway or the aisles, it's amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, we are going to talk about immigration, and I am going to take your questions for the next hour and a half. And so bring them on. Let's talk about it. And let's go to Ahmed. Hello, Ahmed.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now I'm citizen already. I got my citizenship through marriage from a previous marriage from before.
Okay.
Okay. So my marriage was in 2005. And I was married for just 1 month, so I didn't apply for anything. And then I got picked up by ICE back in 2005. Just for 1 day, they got fingerprints and picture and stuff like that, and they released me. Now, after all these years, like 20 years, now I'm married to a different woman. Now my wife is Palestinian. I applied for the I-130. She got it was approved.
Wait. Hold on. You went from being in immigration detention, and now you're married to a Palestinian woman. You skipped some things. How did you get your citizenship?
Yeah, from my previous marriage, from my first wife.
Okay. When did that marriage end?
It ended in 2009.
And when did you marry the Palestinian lady?
In 2023.
So safe to say that you didn't even know this Palestinian woman back when you were married?
Oh, yeah. But I have another marriage in between. Like I was married again in 2018, but got divorced in 2020.
Okay. Did anyone get an immigration benefit out of that marriage?
No.
So you just married like an American person?
Right. She was an American, yes.
Okay. All right. So we're on marriage number 3. We're married to a Palestinian. Have we filed the I-130? Okay.
Yes, and it's approved. I'm living abroad. Actually, I'm not living in the US. Like I left the US in 2020. Now I'm living in UAE since 2020, end of 2020.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm married to her, to my wife now, and applied for the I-130, approved. Now the case is at the NVC. Now my question is, will they dig in my older case? Because my older case was like a bad case. Like I think, like there was a age gap between me and my ex-wife. I got picked up by ICE. I don't know. Like I was out of status when I got married. So will they revisit my file?
What do you
Will
think?
that?
What do you think?
I don't. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
Come on, what does your gut say? If Donald Trump's in charge, the State Department doesn't want to let Palestinians come to the United States. They're looking for people to denaturalize. They're looking for cases that are messy. We're on marriage number 3. Is there an age gap between you and the Palestinian lady?
I'm older, 6 years older than her.
So that's not bad. Okay. All right.
I got 2 kids now with her. My first 2 kids.
So based on everything we've talked about, do you think they're going to look at your prior marriage?
I think so, because like my ex-wife she was older than me. She was like 10 years older than me.
Yeah, they're going to think that you paid that woman to get your green card. Sure.
Okay. So what to do now? Like don't file for my wife, like or
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I mean, let's do it like this. What was your first wife's name? First name?
Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. This is the fraud unit of USCIS. We're here to talk to you about your marriage back in 2009 to Ahmed. Remember, he was in removal, and then he got married to you and was able to get a green card. Was that a real marriage, or did you just do that to help him out with his immigration problem?
You're asking me what she would answer?
That's right.
No, it was a real marriage.
That doesn't mean that's what she's going to say.
That's true.
So what is she going to say? They're going to say, hey, we're here from ICE and the fraud unit. We think that he paid you. We think that you solved his immigration problems. We think there was a big age gap. This is a weak marriage. We never would have approved this now. We're going to put you in jail unless you tell us right now the truth. This is your one shot to tell us the truth as to whether or not your marriage to Ahmed was real or fake, because that's what they'll do.
It was real, but I don't know what she's going to say. I lost contact with her since 2000, maybe 11 or something, 2010, 2011. I lost contact with her, not even once.
How long did you get divorced before or after you became a citizen?
Before.
So how long after you got your green card did you get divorced?
Not long.
What's not long?
I mean, maybe right after I got my permanent green card. No, actually, it was before the permanent green card. No, after. I'm sorry, after the permanent green card.
How long after the permanent green card did you leave?
Maybe just right, maybe a few months, maybe 4, 5, 6 months.
Was she happy about that, or was she pissed?
No, she called the FBI on me. She was pissed.
So she's already called the FBI.
Yeah, she did. That was back in 2010. I got a visit from an FBI agent at my work.
What did they say?
They said, we are here because someone made accusations to you that you involved in some trouble, and they knew that they were nice. They were saying, we know this is probably like a lie, but we have to finish up our paperwork. So,
and when they came to talk to you, were they specifically talking about immigration, or were they trying to talk about something else, like you were involved in criminal activity or something?
Something else, not about immigration, something else. Like she was like she just made up some bullshit lies about me and my friends, and they visited me. They visited one of my friends at his work.
So, safe to say, if she's confident enough to rat you out to the FBI, she's probably not going to have much nice to say to USCIS about you.
Probably.
Yeah. So I think you file at risk of your own citizenship.
Right. that's my question. So what do I have to do now? Like,
What do you want me to do? I mean, I mean, to me, you're asking me, Jim. I mean, first of all, there's a pause on Palestinians coming to the United States. Number
right.
two, you haven't lived here for 5 years. Number three, there's probably an FBI file and a USCIS file on you, and they would like nothing more than to try to take away your citizenship. So I probably would stay out of the United States, and I probably wouldn't apply for jack squat.
Okay. So I mean, like, drag this out until this administration like goes away and wait for the next one.
At the least.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ahmed.
So thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Yep.
You
All right. All right. Well, as somebody said, we started off with a bang. Let's go to Shazad. Hello.
Hello, Sir Jim. How are you?
I'm great, Shazad. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking.
Sure.
I have a very simple question. It's been like 2 years. I got married to the U.S. citizen,
Mhm.
and I'm living with her now. We have first baby, and she is 1.5 year old now. I will apply for my citizenship this year, in the end of this year, to get my citizenship. Uh, but my wife got pregnant again, and she wants some help. She's very close to my mother, and her mother-in-law. So she wanted her help during this period. To the after the delivery of the baby, because we have another kid. So she wants some help, some guidance and some help. So, what do you think? Who should apply for the visit visa? um so because right now I'm not citizen, so I cannot apply for the permanent resident. We just want her help for like 4 or 5 months or 6 months, how long she could stay here. So could you assist me, who has higher chances to get a visa approval? My wife can invite her, or do you want me to invite my mom?
Perfect. So first of all, Shazad, I'm not a big believer in inviting people for a visit visa. I don't think the State Department gives a crap about who invited who. I don't think it matters if you have a green card, if you're a student, if you're a citizen. I don't think any of that matters. The only thing that matters is whether or not they think your mom or her mom will leave to come to America, stay for 4 or 5 months to see baby number one and help with baby number two, or go back and go back, right? So I would say that since a lot of visit visas are denied, I would have both of them apply. But if you're asking me who's more likely to get the visa, I would say the person who can demonstrate that they have real reasons to not stay in the United States and will go back, like they have a job, they have property, they have other family members. Like that's the whole question on a visit visa isn't about whether you wrote a nice letter or your wife, a US citizen, asked a nice letter. It's all about what they think the beneficiary of the visit visa, i.e. your mom or her mom, will do when the time is up to come.
Yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Her mom is here. She is close to my mom. So she wanted her to come in. So that's the thing. My father, he is also in Pakistan, and my brother. So she's very close to my brother and his kids, and she's living over there. They have their house over there, and she's happy. She just wanna come here to just help.
But
So
nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that your wife is pregnant. Nobody cares that your wife wants her mom or your mom here. Nobody cares about that. What they care about is that she will honor the visit visa and the rules of the visit visa and leave on time. That's what they care about.
Oh yeah. So should I apply, or whom should apply, me or my wife? Because she's citizen. So like,
You're not listening. You're not listening to what I said. You keep asking who should apply. Neither of you apply. You don't apply. Your wife doesn't apply. They apply. Your mom and her mom apply. It doesn't matter whose relative it is. Is this person going to leave the United States at the end of their visit?
yes sir,
Does that make sense?
yes sir, yes
So
sir, I
again,
got.
nobody cares if you have a green card or your wife has a citizenship. Citizenship. In fact, if anything, the fact that your wife has a citizenship makes it less likely that her mom would get the visit visa because she could apply for her mom to get a green card once she's here and skip the line, right? So you can't do that just now. But none of that really matters. What really matters is, can they convince the consulate in Pakistan that they're going to go back to their home country when their visit to see you is done? Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, sir. I got it.
Thanks, Shazad. I have a whole video on this.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yep, go look. Okay, good luck. Mandamus lawsuit. Hello. You're on mute.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good.
So, I don't know if you remember me. I talked to you a couple of months ago. So, we filed a lawsuit regarding my I-751 delay. I just had an interview on Friday, and it was like almost more than 2 hours interview. He actually went through whole history, like how I came, and he took my passport. He took all the details. I explained all the details, and I did not receive any letter for the N400 because N400 was also pending. So he conducted the N400 interview, and then gave me a sheet like interview results. He said decision will be mailed. So I don't know what would I expect.
Well, the nice thing about having the lawsuit is either they'll notify you or they'll notify us soon. So I think you've done everything you can do. It should go fast.
Okay, and I mean, during the interview, it was such a long interview. I was confused a couple of things. Like he asked me whether I paid any money. I said no, but again I said I occasionally transfer to our account to share the household expenses. That kind of confusion during the interview. Other than that, everything went well. No criminal history, nothing, no overstay.
Did they separate you and your spouse?
No, it's a divorce waiver interview.
Oh, waiver. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let us know how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, this is the third interview. I don't know if you remember. This is my third I-751 interview.
Well, I hope it goes well. Thanks so much for the call. All right. Let's go to PK. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Good morning or good afternoon.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, thanks for doing this call. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago regarding my employment-based I-140, I-485, I'm sorry, delay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so yeah, I spoke to you about it, and we spoke about Mandamus lawsuit. I retained you, and the Mandamus lawsuit is going fine. The question I have for you is, a couple of days ago, my wife's grandmother, she passed away, and my wife is a derivative beneficiary on my adjustment of status application. So the question is, she spoke to her employer's attorneys. They actually filed a I-129 extension of status petition for her H-1B. So that petition is still pending. Her H-1B status and H-1B stamp are valid until March of 2026. She also has an advance parole petition that's valid until 2030. So we spoke to the employer attorneys. They said it's fine to travel. You have H-1B, you have status, you have visa stamp, and you have advance parole as a backup. My question to you is, with this Mandamus lawsuit on file, are there any concerns if she travels?
I'm very sorry about her mom, but 100% she shouldn't travel. To me, there's not a doubt in my mind. Anybody who told her that it's safe to travel is a fool.
Okay. So can you elaborate?
Okay. Let's say that there's a 1% chance they don't let her back in for 6 or 8 or 9 months. What happens?
I believe she would be able to continue her employment from her home country, but she wouldn't be let in. I understand the risk. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think they're following the rules?
Fair. Okay.
Do you think they're treating people fairly? Do you think they have compassion?
Fair. Okay.
How long has the Mandamus lawsuit been on file?
I would say less than a week. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to take a little while to work itself out. From a purely immigration standpoint, she should not leave the United States.
I see. Okay. And even after considering the fact that she is not the primary, the I-140 is in my name. She is just the derivative beneficiary.
I don't really debate people on this. I just have the same answer over and over, which is why I don't really answer it anymore. My answer is, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you should not leave the United States unless you're prepared to stay out of the United States for 6 to 12 months. Obviously, she has all the right things going for her. What country are you talking about?
India.
So maybe everything goes fine. I can't guarantee it, and neither can you, and neither can the person who told her go ahead.
Mhm.
So I'm sure there's lots of reasons. And she's only the derivative, and she has an H-1B, and she has advanced parole. Okay. All that being said, no one can guarantee that she's going to get back in the United States.
Fair.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'll take your advice, Jim. The other question I had is, can we use this as a humanitarian reason to submit an expedite request? I know that it's not going to be as effective as a Mandamus lawsuit, but can I use this as another, avenue to pursue?
There's no downside. There's no downside to it. Just don't get your hopes up. The Mandamus will work faster.
Okay. Sounds good. So again, just to clarify, there is no downside for me in pursuing this as an alternate option.
No downside.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. Let's go to Iceman. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm well. Thank you. What's up?
Okay. So my question is pretty straightforward. I'm currently filling my form I-485, and I'm filling it through my NIW petition that is now current. I work during my master's degree. I had both a graduate assistantship position as well as I work at the dining a couple of times. So I'm a little bit skeptical on how I should go about filling my employment history. So I'm thinking of just filling the graduate assistantship position and leave that out of the dining that I work on. So I don't know your advice with regards to that.
So you're saying that you have authorized work as a graduate assistant and you have unauthorized work in a diner? Is that what you said?
No, both of them are authorized and within the 20-hour limit.
Oh,
My GA is 15 hours, while the dining is 5 hours.
why wouldn't you list both?
Okay. For example, my GA runs from fall 2021 to spring 2022, and then within the spring, I did 5 hours for the dining, and then in the summer, I got 1 month assistantship, and I continue working in the dining. So they're a bit much. Is it okay if I list all of them?
Sure.
Okay.
You can and you should.
I should list all of them, right?
Yes.
And then in my last semester, my program was extended from May to August, and I didn't work those periods. So should I just state that I was a full-time student during those periods?
Yes.
Okay. Then finally, I know that I've watched a couple of your videos, but I still want to ask, I have one speeding ticket, okay, which I promptly paid for, and I mistakenly hit a signpost close to my parking lot.
Oh,
I reported to the police myself, and they gave me a citation which I also paid for. I also went to the city public work, which I paid for. I intend, with respect to question 22, I intend to answer yes, and then explain. What do I need to provide, like the copies of the citation or what?
yes.
Okay. Then I recently I had like a minor collision in my apartment. The It's currently being handled by my insurance company, but it was not. It didn't involve the police at all. Do I need to disclose that?
No.
Okay, but in all, it has no implication with regard to my petition, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Good luck. That was Iceman. I see my friend Ahmed is here to say thank you, but it says device is not connected. I don't know what that means, lady, if you know what that. Oh, here he is. Hello, Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum, Jim.
Walaikum salam. How are you doing?
I am blessed. I cannot complain, Jim. I'm just here to say thank you from my heart, from deep of my heart. You have been a great help, great resource, and one of the calm lawyer I have seen. Honestly, I mean it. I really mean it. It has been a long journey for me. I've been here for 10 years now. I came as a student, went through work permit, all the different kind, green card, and Alhamdulillah, I am a US citizen now. I asked a couple of questions down the road, not couple of some. I came to the show a couple of time and asked few questions every time, and you were very generous. In the meantime, I got married and I applied for my wife too as an LPR from Pakistan. It took 4 years, and she's also here in US with me. So it's a new year, new life for me. And I just wanted to say sincere thank you again. Wanted to be added in that list. And if there is anything I can do for you, I am available. I would love to do that, and you are more than welcome to come to Philly anytime. I will be sending a small token of appreciation soon for you and the team. But I just wanted to come on the show and say thank you for all your help you did during my this immigration journey. Anything I can do for you, brother? Your brother is here in Philly. Your brother is here in Pakistan. Anything, anytime in the world, till the time I'm alive, I owe you.
I appreciate it. You don't owe me anything, Ahmed. I will take you up on that Philly cheesesteak when I come to see the Eagles next year. So that would be great. I will definitely. I have your number now, and I was very happy to get your naturalization picture today, and we'll definitely add you to the list.
I appreciate it, Jim. I'm waiting for you. I am waiting for you. I mean it. And please feel free. Anything I can do. I'm not saying I'm an expert now, but listening to the show for so long, I can at least help you up in small things. I can volunteer. I'm ready to volunteer for that.
I appreciate that. Let's do this. What's your best piece of advice for any immigrants going through at whatever union? You started up at the very beginning. So as a student, as a green card holder, as now a citizen, what's your best advice for everybody who's watching?
There are many. You put me on the show, but I can start that. Be straightforward. Be straightforward. Do the right thing. Follow Jim's advice. Uh, stay calm. You have to be calm, and you are one of the calm person. I've seen, I've listened many shows and many calls. When I listen, I get irritated when you are repeating yourself, but you still respond calmly. And over here, me just listening, I get irritated. So, bows off. Just salute to you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Have a great day, and congratulations once again. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother. Looking forward for you.
Assalamu
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How about that? Yes, I was very happy to get Ahmed's. I don't know if the Jets are playing in Philly next year, but I got to get up there. Amra, my assistant, she loves the Eagles, and of course, they're very sad because they lost to the 49ers yesterday. It wasn't the best game of the weekend. I think the best game of the weekend was What was the late game on Saturday? That was the one. It must have been, oh, the Bears and the Packers. That was a great game. What a great call from Ahmed, though. I was very happy. Got his picture. I think I'm going to put his picture up on the wall with all of our clients, even though he was not a client. So what a nice guy. Saint, hello.
Hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
Good. So I have a question about, I have a I-130 at the Visa Center for my mom. So I was about to file the DX216. So I thought just to go double check and see the transcript about the approved I-130 to make sure there's no mistake. So while I was checking, I found out that I forgot to mention one of my siblings.
Oh, you forgot to mention one of your siblings?
Yeah.
And this is, you're applying for a spouse or your parent?
No, just my mom.
Your mom. Yeah, probably not a big deal. I mean, the question about things that are missing are, is it material? Like if you had listed the sibling, would that have changed the decision by USCIS? And I don't see how in the world it would have, other than the fact that, I guess, in theory, if you truly are her son, then you should know who all of her children are. But I don't think anyone's going to get worked up over that.
I mean, it makes it worse because there's like 3 of us only, and I forgot to mention one.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to catch it.
So should I send them like an email after
Nah.
Friday Dexter?
When you do your DS260, just make sure to list them. I don't think anyone's going to compare the two.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim.
Good luck, Saint. Let's go to ZZ. Hello, ZZ.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm a permanent resident. I was previously in touch with your colleague, Tim. And I was planning for naturalization through military service. And it was some months ago. I was, in fact, waiting for my form N426 to come out, by which it will enable me to start my naturalization. And it was months ago, and a lot of things changed. And now I'm already enlisted, and I got my N426 and want to start my naturalization. So because of the dramatic changes, I wanted to just talk with you and listen to your advice on how to proceed, because I'm from one of the banned countries. While I was talking with your colleague Tim, there was no ban, and now that the ban is there and that I'm going to apply through military pathway, how will that move forward? And besides that, I have some complications with my immigration background, which is, let me start from the beginning of how I got here. So
just real quick,
yes.
Are we your attorneys right now?
No, I was just we did some initial one session of conversation and some emails.
It's just if you were our attorney, then I wouldn't want you telling us everything out on the air. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
And let's talk about a hypothetical. Your friend. Let's talk about your friend Mudassar. Talk about Mudassar, not about you.
Okay. So then Mudassar became a permanent resident in 2024, and he came here through SIV program, Special Immigrant Visa.
Yep.
And he was a contractor for the U.S. government in one of the banned countries. And the complication is that Mudassar was a business owner in one of the banned countries and also a contractor to the U.S. government. And he first applied for SIV. His case got denied 2 times, and he was and his wife was also working with him in the same company, which was the contractor for the U.S. government. After that, his case, SIV got denied. His wife applied, and his wife's case got approved. And through his wife, they, as a whole family, got processed under an SIV visa program and get into the US in 2024. Now, Mudassir himself got enlisted in military. Now is a service member, planning to apply for citizenship through military. So I know that through the process, they will see everything of Mudassir's prior visa denials and everything. During the visa interview, Mudassir did disclose his previous denials to the visa interviewing officer, and they had a through this discussion there, and eventually convinced the visa officer about the alleged implications, and the visa officer got convinced and processed the visa for the whole family. And to be specific on what the problem was for the Mudassir's denials, is that SIV requires essentially two types of important documents for the case to proceed. One, a recommendation letter from a U.S. citizen supervisor, and then HR recommendation from the contractor company, by which these two documents, it enables the applicant to move forward. And when Mudassir received applied first with the recommendation letter from his supervisor, when NVC approached his supervisor to verify the recommendation letter, the supervisor did not verify. So it got denied.
Okay.
And
so what's the question?
So the question is that how will these denials affect the naturalization process? And eventually, is it appropriate to start the naturalization now at all?
Well, I mean, the pause is the pause, so they can't naturalize the person, even with the military, extra weight given to that. I don't know. I think it might make it hard for that person to naturalize. I think USCIS is going to look at that case very carefully, and they're going to wonder why in the world the supervisor wouldn't sign off on the letter.
And the situation is that that first recommendation letter was notarized in a public notary in the U.S., and Mudassir got the authentication from the notarization, through which, by that authentication, Mudassir convinced the visa officer that they eventually issued the visa. So that authentication is also available.
But what's
now.
So are you saying the person really did sign it?
Yes, the person did actually sign it before a notary public, but then later maybe he didn't want it to.
That's very strange.
Yes. And that authentication is also available now with the applicant.
All right, we'll just have to see what happens.
Should he apply at all now or wait?
I would not apply under this administration, no.
Okay, so because he's applying through military pathway, if he gets denied, is there risk of deportation for the service member?
I would say yes.
So the military doesn't put any weight on that?
No, I don't believe so.
Got it. And do you advise for international travel for Mudassir?
I'm not answering that question anymore. I'm not talking about international travel anymore. If you're not a U.S. citizen, don't leave the United States. Adriana, hello. Our friend Matt's checking in. Adriana, are you
Hello.
there? Hi.
Hi.
What can I help you with, Adriana?
Okay, well, I think that you know me. I have been in your show before.
Yes.
I would like to know what do you think about, well, I want to say thank you for everything that you do right now to help people through your program. My question is about the recent event in Venezuela. What do you think that is going to happen? What the government is going to do with people who still had application pendings?
I would say they're going to try to figure out every way to screw people from Venezuela. That's what I would say.
You told me that you think that I had to continue fighting to work in my process. So I think that you know something about my process. I will plan to get married in February and the first week. And what do you think? Do you think that I know I don't have a status right now, as you know. So what do you think that they are going to do?
I don't know. I think they're really looking hard at people that came on Biden parole. And I have a friend who works for a immigration advocacy group in Washington, D.C. And she told me today, I don't have it in front of me, but she said that people who entered on Biden parole programs should be very worried about getting picked up by ICE. That's all she told me. I don't know where she was getting that from, but that's what she said.
But that is not that they didn't change the rules right now. That is something that they want to do, but
And she said it's happening because what ICE is doing, they're just putting people in removal, putting them in detention, and then saying, fight your way out. That's what she was trying to tell me.
But right now is they consider that as an illegal enter.
Okay. I know, Adriana. I know they do. They also know that they're not following the rules. And they think that everyone who is admitted under Biden's program shouldn't have been allowed into the United States and that it wasn't a valid entry. And they're going to try to deport those people. EB, hello. EB, you're on mute.
Hi, I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Jim, for everything you are doing for the immigration community. It was hard to find you at the first time because usually I get all recommendation from YouTube. But for your case, the way I found you, it was just by looking for like 24-hour research, the PM number for the last policy and the lawsuits. So I don't know if someone is fighting you through the algorithms. To go to my case, I'm a scientist. I'm in one of the recently added country to the ban. I came to the US in a J1 initially, but I was moved to H1B. And I'm currently on a renewal, but the 240 days period is about to end in February. So I know that I'm not entitled to have like a feedback from about your recent lawsuit. So I was wondering if there is a possibility for you to file a different lawsuit in a different circuit, so you can accommodate people from the recently added country.
That's not my focus right now. My focus right now is winning the one that I have. So that's something that we might do. You can email us and say, hey, if you do one, can you add me to the list of people that are interested? But right now I'm focusing full steam ahead on the one that's on file.
Okay. And so you don't think it's a good thing to do, or at least do it on a on a personal basis? Just feel.
You mean, do I think filing an individual lawsuit
Yeah.
would be helpful? I just talked about this on Saturday's show. If you go to the 48-minute mark, you can see my thoughts on that.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. I have three more small question, like just yes or no. I heard you last week talking about possibility to find out about the visa rejection files, because I applied for visa 3 times, and each time I needed some consular processing and some administrative processing. So is there like a way I can find out why my case always go to administrative processing?
Probably not. You can try it. You can ask to do a FOIA from the State Department, but I think it's probably a 20% chance you get anything meaningful.
Okay, okay, okay. Also, I am through my research, we had a couple patent, and my colleague and my PI did some startup, and they consider me as a scientific advisor for that startup. They gave me some equity, but there is no pay or salary, and all of that was through my research position. Does that affect my me negatively if in case I apply for one I-140 in future?
I would say that it's something that you're going to have to explain to USCIS if you have a green card interview. They're going to want to know why, they're not going to believe that that wasn't work, and you're going to have to prove that it wasn't work.
Okay, okay, okay. Also, I am I have some health and health issue, and I'm discussing with my primary care provider the possibility to take some sick leave. If does taking sick leave through the FMLA impact any 140 application future?
As long as you maintain your status, it shouldn't.
Okay, okay. Even for an extended period.
Well, how much time are you talking about?
I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4 months, and some of that time I might just be without a work permit. So will they consider that just like that considers itself?
I think that could be a problem, especially if you are claiming I'm not an employee of the startup and I'm not making money there, but I'm magically able to support myself. I think this would make things harder.
Yeah, but I make myself I make my earnings through my research position. It's and it's where I will be applying for the sick leave.
I would say as long as it doesn't affect your immigration status and whatever that rule is, whatever those rules are about, maintaining your status and all that stuff, as long as the extended leave doesn't impact that, it shouldn't.
Okay.
You should be
Yeah,
okay.
just to be clear, after like that 240 days, all my status will be just the H1B renewal that is pending, and of course it will be pending for as long as there is the hold.
Okay. Well, good luck. I hope you feel better. All right. I think I'm going to keep people on a shorter leash today. It seems like everyone's got these long, meandering, very, 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 very hyper specific questions to their situation. Remember, we're trying to teach everybody about how it works. So try to ask general questions, not necessarily about your specific situation. Whistleen is here. Now the party can get started. Hello, Whistleen. How are you, sweetheart? Hope you're doing well. Jojo.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much. Just a quick question. The other week, I happened to get the last of a statement that you were making. So, a friend has green card through the DB lottery, and I thought I heard you say that nationalization could happen, but for that friend of mine. But I thought I heard you say at the moment with the pause that maybe people shouldn't try naturalization when they've had their green card through the DB lottery. Is that right?
Oh no, I would not. I didn't say that. No, I think
No.
they might be screwing with people that got their green cards through the diversity visa. But as long as they're not from one of the banned countries, they should apply, and the case should go forward.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much for your help, and have a great day. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jojo. That's what I'm talking about. Nice quick call. Romario, hello.
Hello. Hi, Jim. Thank you for everything that you've been doing.
How you doing?
I have a question for you. So my green card was approved in December 2025. I am not from a banned country. I previously had a DUI in 2023, which was fully disclosed on my application and at the interview as well. My question is, do you recommend traveling internationally?
I can't answer that anymore. I'm not answering travel questions anymore. I'm sorry, Romario. I'm not doing it. Marriage-based green card. Hello. Hello, marriage green card. You're on mute, or we can't hear you. Something's up. Let's go to Melvin. Hello, Melvin. Look at that
Hello,
picture.
hello, Jim. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I got my I talked to you before, I think a couple months ago. I got my interview in September. And it was denied, and I'm trying to appeal, or I don't know how to call, right? I'm trying to reach your office, and I did talk to somebody from your office, but I'm running out of time because I only have 30 days. And I sent some documents to them, so I'm waiting for their response. But I want to ask you that have you right now. I've been trying to get into you to ask you a question. They are asking me to leave the country in 31 days if I don't appeal, even though I have a VAWA approved and I got deferred action for 2 years. How that work?
So what you had something denied? What got denied? Your green card itself?
Yes, I got VAWA. I got my VAWA approved.
What was the basis of the green card denial?
They asked me for documents from a domestic violence that I have in 2012. I went to the court in North Carolina to get those, but I was thinking, because my lawyer never explained to me that I have to go to the court. Also, I have to get the police report. And I just went to the court. They give me a letter that there's nothing more in file, and everything was destroyed. So with that letter, I was thinking I was fine to send everything. I sent that to the lawyer. The lawyer never say, hey, you're missing a paper or missing this. They just send everything. And it got denied on the 29th of last month. So I got 30 days, 18 days left. And I'm trying to find somebody who can help me with this. So I've been reaching your office.
Why wouldn't you just start over?
I don't want to start over. To be honest, it's a long process, and I'm a truck driver too, and I just lost my job on the same day, 29. They find out that my license, CDL license, was downgraded. So right now I'm on leave, trying to see how this ends. So trying to resolve this.
But the
So I don't have.
motion to reopen isn't going to do you anything. It's not going to give you a work card. It could take a year and a half. I think you're much better off filing a new 485.
I have a work permit through VAWA. It doesn't expire into 27, I believe. They give me the VAWA approved last March 2025. So I got a C31 because of VAWA. So I can work with that, but my license was downgraded because of the non-domicile rule that they approved on the end of September.
Okay, I'm just telling you, if I were you, I would file a new 45. I would not file a motion to reopen.
Even based on missing documents? They deny because...
At the very least, you should do both.
Okay. Okay. And I have VAWA approved already. What happens if I live and I file outside the U.S.? Can I do that?
You can, but they'll never let you back.
Oh, shit. All right. Okay.
Thanks, Melvin.
Thank you.
Melvin had a hard day. He got his 45 denied, and he lost his job all in the same day. That's not good. N400MT, hello. You're on mute.
Hello, Jim. Hope you're doing well. I'll make the story short. I don't want to spend a lot. thank you, because it's gonna take a long time.
Go for it.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. Okay, so I have N400 case pending. I'm originally from Iran, and I've been here for almost 15 years, and my case is amazing. But and I got my interview scheduled by mid-December, and it was very surprising, and that's why I didn't make any research to join your lawsuit. I didn't know you, at that time.
No problem.
And it was scheduled for early January. I mean, January 4th, I guess. And then by end of December, we got notification that my case was descheduled.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made research and I found your page, YouTube channel. So I just wanted to know, since you filed the lawsuit, is it? I mean, is it going to be for those people who joined the lawsuit if you win the case?
We're going to try and help everybody, but the judge might not agree with that request. The judge might want to limit it to just the people that are in front of her.
Okay. And can we, if that happens, worst case scenario, can we file another lawsuit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that would make it faster since you won once.
Hopefully.
Okay, awesome. Any news from the lawsuit that you filed?
Not that I'm going to talk about on today's show. Nope.
Because I saw on news that a judge in Boston, Massachusetts.
It's a different case. Yep.
That's a different case. Okay.
That's Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuelan people who were paroled in. The judge ordered them to continue processing those cases.
Gotcha. All right, that's all. Thank you so much. If I'll wait for your case result. If it helped us, that would be wonderful. And thank you so much. But if not, then I'll reach out again.
Thanks.
I have to join this lawsuit. And I mean, I love President Trump and I love his administration, but unfortunately, I'm being affected, and I don't know what's going to happen to my life, and it's very bad.
I have no idea why you would have loved him before that, but fair enough. Adam, hello.
Hello, sir. So first of all, big fan. Watching your show for the long time.
Thank you.
In fact, two of my friends watch your shows and they recommend you, and then I started watching your YouTube channel.
Awesome.
And you are doing good work. I mean, with the immigration and everything. So really want to thank you from my bottom of my heart to do such a wonderful things. Because right now the situation is not so good, and we need some legal supports. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
So, okay. Here's the thing. I am a international student, and I mean OPT. My OPT just got approved today. Not actually today. I got the mail yesterday actually, and on the last year, end of the last year, I got married with a U.S. citizen. So I'm planning to apply for my green card and everything. Now I have a situation with my immigration history, and which is when I applied, I came into the U.S. as an B1, B2 tourist, and then I converted to F1. So when I initially entered in U.S., one of my relative, basically fill up the DS-160.
Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Something wrong in the DS-160. What was it?
I was married and divorced before. Everyone knows it. My family knows it. My current wife, everyone knows it. But last year, because after filling up the form, I never checked it. I never checked it. Last year, after I was consulting with one of the lawyer, and he told me, "Hey, give me your one DS-160. I just want to know everything about your when you entered and everything."
Good lawyer.
And yes, he said, "Hey, you told me that you was married and divorced within a year or more than like I was married in 2014, got divorced in 15. It was a mutual divorce back in my country, not over here."
Yep.
So I mentioned that to my lawyer, of course. I mean, why would I hide that? And he said, "Hey, it's nothing about you. Over here, it says you are single." Then I backtrack to my relative, and he said that, I mean, I gave him all the information. He said that either by the conversation, I understand either he did a mistake, it's an honest mistake, or he didn't scroll down because you have to click it. The first option will be single, and you have to scroll down to go to the marriage or other, status. He didn't pay any attention. Basically, I was sick at that time, and that's why he did it. Anyway, that's the situation. I
What about
recently, and I
what about at the embassy interview itself? Did that topic come up?
no, never. They didn't ask me anything. They asked me a lot of things about my job, what I did, because my mom and me both had this. They like we applied and we went to the embassy together for the interview. They asked lots of things about my job and everything, and I answered it straightforward. But that topic never came up. Second thing is, when I got married, I married in Georgia.
Before we get to that, can we get to this topic? Can we do this
Yes.
topic first?
Which
Okay.
one?
The one about the saying you were single on your DS-160.
Yes.
So as we sit here right now, you know that if you had put single, you probably wouldn't have gotten your visit visa to the United States, right?
Like if I give it divorce?
Yeah, if you said that you were not married, the form that was given to the embassy and to the State Department said that you were married, and you understand that if you had told them that you were divorced, you most likely wouldn't have gotten your visit visa to the United States. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I think, okay, I understand now.
Okay. And do you also understand that it doesn't matter if a lawyer filled out your DS-160, if your cousin filled out your DS-160, if the president of your old country filled out the DS-160, or if the Secretary of State filled out the DS-160? There's only one person who's responsible for what's in the DS-160 as far as the State Department's concerned. You understand that's you. So the fact that some other person filled it out makes zero difference to the State Department. Do you know that?
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
So, okay. So now you came on a visit, then you switched to what, F1?
Correct.
And is that what just got approved? You said something at the top of the call. You said something just got approved?
Yes. I did my graduation. I did my graduation on cybersecurity, and the December I graduated, and then I applied for it, the OPT, and I got approved. I got the OPT approval, and I'm waiting for the EAD.
And so now you're married to a U.S. citizen and you want to apply for the I-130 and the 45, right?
Correct, sir.
And now you have to say, have you ever made a misrepresentation to obtain a visa? You're going to have to say yes.
Yes. So that's what yes, I will do that. I will do that. Otherwise, I will not bring up the whole thing, because my country is something which is not that much advanced digitally, so they don't share those information to the, I guess, not to the, just make some inquiries. But I don't want to. I want to be honest, because I just found out last year. I want my sleep. If I lie, I won't sleep at night. Frankly speaking, I need my sleep, because after knowing that, I'm having trouble with me myself. I cannot do that.
Okay.
So I want to be honest. I want to say that, hey, this is what happened. Now this is a situation is this. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie. Lots of people advise me to do that.
Right.
I can. It cannot be done by me.
I'm glad you're not going to lie. So let's talk about what's going to happen. Okay.
Yes.
So your U.S. citizen spouse is going to file an I-130 petition for you. You're going to file a 45. You're going to have to be very, very careful how you answer. There's probably 3 or 4 questions you have to mark yes to on the 45 related to this incident. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to go to your interview, and the officer, if they believe that the marriage is real, they'll say, I'm going to approve the I-130. I can't approve the 45 because you made a misrepresentation at the time that you entered into the United States. They could say, we're going to put you in removal, or they could say, you're going to need a waiver of the fact that you lied to get your visit visa to the United States. And so that means you're going to have to start working now on a waiver case. So that will all come down to your spouse. So if your spouse has any health issues, any mental health issues, any financial issues, anything that makes it especially hard for her if you get deported, they understand that if somebody's husband gets deported, they're in trouble and they're going to suffer hardship, but you have to show extra hardship. So does your spouse have anything like that that we could use as the basis of a waiver, which is what they're going to ask for at USCIS? And you need to start working on it now because you're going to have 30 or 87 days to submit the waiver request.
All right. I haven't applied for the marriage-based green card yet. So.
Oh, wait, time out. Everyone's chiding me in the comments. So on your DS-160, did it say that you were single or that you were married and divorced?
Single.
Oh.
I was single, and right now I'm married. So that's all. So I got married back in my country, which is in 14. I got divorced.
I got it wrong. So, okay. So your cousin put that you were single, not that you were divorced.
No.
Yes?
Yes. You're right. I mean,
yeah.
Yes. You are 100% right.
So that's not so bad. That's a lot better.
I mean,
because there's no real difference. I mean, technically, that's true what you said, that you were single, right?
Yes, I'm single. I'm divorced that time. Okay, I'm divorced that time when they fill up the form.
I'm sorry for misunderstanding. Did the DS-160 ask, have you ever been married, or just about your current marital status?
Current marital status, I guess. I have to check. Because I didn't fill up the form. So
yeah, but that we're done saying that. That doesn't do us any good. We're not going to say that anymore.
Yes. So I have to check that is in the DS-160. Is there anything? Have you been ever married before or not? Written over there or not? Because
that's the thing. Then if they just said no, single, and said like made it look like you'd never been married, then I think that's a little bit different than if it just said, what's your current marital status? Married, single, married, or divorced?
I think that's the one. I think they're just going to ask that, are you single or divorced? I mean, what is your marital status?
Okay.
You just have to place.
So that's not a misrepresentation. I think you're okay.
Another thing, when I got married, I submitted the application for the license of the marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over there, it was written over there that do you got married before? If you what is the status? Did you? It's written over there. I haven't put anything over there.
Say that again.
So when I got married in Georgia, right?
Uh-huh.
So last year, when if you want to get married in the court, then you have to submit a marriage license application, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So at that form, there was, did you any of us ever married before or anything? It was written over there.
Okay. And what did you put?
I didn't put anything.
You didn't list your prior marriage?
No.
Why is that?
I just continued with, because I was confused at the time. I was really confused at that time. I
Well,
shouldn't.
brother Adam, now we have 2 times where a government agency has asked you about your marriage, and now you've been wrong about it twice. That seems a little sus.
No. The first one was I didn't. I knew that last year after my marriage and everything. When I went to the lawyer, they asked me the 160. Then I knew that.
That's not the point. What I'm saying is, one time the State Department asked you, one time the state of Georgia asked you about your prior marriages, and both times you said no. That seems sus.
Okay. The marriage certificate I did fill it up, and I didn't put anything.
Right. So again, I think you might be lucky. I don't think this is going to be an issue either. They will just look at the marriage license. They're not going to look at the questions that you answered in order to get the marriage license. In my experience, in theory, they could, but I've never seen that happen before.
So what should I do?
Well, I don't think you have, based on what you've told me, I don't think you have to say you made a misrepresentation to get a visa or to the State Department or lied to get into the United States. I don't think you have to worry about that part. Okay. Then I also don't think, I mean, unless you're still legally married to the person back home.
Yes, we are. No. In here, in United States, not in back home.
Right.
Back home was divorced. It's like 10 years ago.
I understand.
Literally 10 years.
Right. I get that. So I think you just pull your Georgia marriage license and leave it at that. They're not going to ask you, what did you tell? They're not going to ask you, did you ever tell the state of Georgia that you were never married before? If they ask you that, you got to tell the truth. But I think the chances of that coming up is very small. So I think you're okay.
What about the question itself that, hey, are they not going to, what should I, in the 485, what should I put? I mean,
about what?
Was I married before or history?
Okay. So just to be clear, and everyone's confused in the comments. So let me make sure that I'm saying everything correctly so that you and I are on the same page. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
What country are you from, Adam?
I'm from Bangladesh.
Okay. So Adam's sitting in Bangladesh. Adam is married. Adam gets divorced. Later, after his divorce, Adam decides to apply for a visit visa to the United States. He calls up cousin. Hey, cousin, fill out my DS-160. Sure thing. Here's all my paperwork. And look, I'm divorced. And you knew I was divorced. Everyone in my family knows I'm divorced. So cousin fills out the DS-160, says that Adam is single. Adam gets the visit visa. The topic is not discussed at his visa interview. Adam gets the visa. He comes to the United States. He applies for an F1. Then he finishes his studies. Then he applies for OPT. He also is going to marry a U.S. citizen, or he actually marries a U.S. citizen. And while filling out the paperwork related to his Georgia marriage certificate, they ask, have you ever been married before? And for some reason, we still haven't gotten a good answer for. Adam says, no, I've never been married before. And then they give Adam a marriage license, and now he wants to apply for his marriage-based green card. And I don't think, based on what I've been told, and I'm not looking at every single question, I don't know that Adam has ever lied to get an immigration benefit. So again, this is all stuff you got to go over with your lawyer. But my gut tells me that if what I just said is the accurate way that things went, then I think you'll probably be okay, unless they start digging around of all the weirdness related to your prior marriage.
So right now I'm just looking forward to file the green card, and in any process on this, on the paperwork or the interview, if the thing come up and they ask me, hey, have you been ever married before, to tell them the truth thing, correct?
Of course.
So what will happen and that time? Are they going to check with the DS-160?
They might, but a divorced person is legally single. That when you're divorced, that's single. So if the DS-160 said, tell us about all your prior marriages, and or
Yes.
if the DS-160, what?
I think DS-160 has single, married, divorce, unity, or something like that. Couple of options.
Well, I would argue that single and divorce is not that much different, and it wouldn't have affected whether you get the visit visa. If it asks about, tell us the names of all of your prior spouses, then I think you're in trouble.
Kind of question was in the application, marriage-based marriage application with the with the certification for the marriage application. The question was something like that. Just skip that part, the
You
whole
said
thing.
you got to dig in. You got to dig in. I have to move on. That was sort of giving me a headache. I wish Adam good luck, and I hope he and his lawyer are able to fill that all out. I know that I-130 lists the prior marriages. The question is whether the DS-160 that he filled out at the time said list your prior marriages. I'm not sure that it did. Oh, dear Lord. Share, hello.
Hi, thank you very much for helping the immigrant community, especially.
You're welcome. What's up?
Well, I came on a J1 visa. 2-year rule is not applicable on my visa. I came here in 2020 and applied for asylum within 1 year. Unfortunately, USCIS referred my case to immigration court, and I had individual hearing back in June 2025. I paid $13,000 to my attorney, and we went to the court, and my individual hearing was proceed, and the judge asked for my original documents. Unfortunately, my lawyer didn't inform me to bring original document, and the judge canceled my individual hearing and gave me a January 30th this year individual hearing. Then back in November, the current administration has fired my judge, and they postponed my hearing to 2029. So now I'm hearing news that they are going to hire new judges. So do you think like my individual hearing date will be changed, or it will remain to 2029?
I think there's a 30% chance it gets rescheduled sometime sooner.
At this moment, since San Francisco Immigration Court just left with 4 immigration judges, so if I go for advance motion, so it's gonna be smart idea, or should I wait until they hire new judges?
Do you think that any judges that they're going to hire are going to be immigrant friendly?
No, because news saying they are going to hire deportation judges.
But they're not going to hire deportation judges. They're going to hire people that just keep the machine going. So my question is, do you think that the people they're going to hire to fill the role of immigration judge are going to be pro-Trump or pro-immigrant?
Of course, they will follow the instruction of Trump, of course.
So why would you want to have your case heard anytime soon? I would not.
Well, the problem is I'm aging. I'm already waiting since 6 years. So I passed the military test. So I don't want to miss that opportunity. And now I'm mentally struggling because of this ongoing 2-time cancellation of my individual hearing, and my mental therapy is going on. So away from my.
How will your mental therapy be if you're on a plane flying back to your home country?
Sorry, sir.
You said you're concerned with your mental health, and I want everyone to be mentally healthy. I get that. But what kind of mindset are you going to have if you lose your asylum case because Trump people don't follow the rules and just send everybody out? What are you going to do then? How are you going to feel then?
Because I believe I have a very strong case. I'm very optimistic.
Everybody thinks that until they get denied. What country are you from?
Pakistan.
So why couldn't the U.S. government deport you to Uganda? Do you have a reason why you can't move to Uganda or to Honduras?
No.
So that's the first question they're asking people right now. Tell me why, Cher, you can't be deported to Uganda. Do you have anybody threatening you there? No. Do you have anybody threatening you in Honduras? No. Okay. I order you deported to Honduras. That's what they're doing. They're not giving you a fair chance. They're not having a trial. They're gearing up the machine to deport people as fast as possible. So if someone out of the sky drops the gift of giving me a trial date in 2029 or 2030, I'm dancing a jig, getting my work card, and laying as low as I can, not reminding anybody that I'm here, and I'm sure as hell not filing a motion to advance so that I get my case heard right now. That's nuts.
Okay. So, sir, do you expect like when these immigration judges going to be hired in these courts, because they fire like 13 judges in San Francisco?
I have no idea.
All right. So you are advising me to just wait for my current individual here in 2029?
So I'm not advising you anything. I want to know, based on what I told you, have you changed your mind?
Well, actually, first is my mental health. Secondly, it's a long separation from my family, and third is my career. I want to join the military.
Time out. Where's your family?
Well, my spouse is in Dubai.
Okay. I certainly appreciate that, but I would tell you that the approval rate for asylum cases right now is about 10%. And some judges' approval rates for asylum are 2%. And the judges that are being fired are the ones that give immigrants a chance. They're all being fired. So to me, it's absolutely insane to think about asking them to hurry it up. I wish you good luck, Cher. Am I crappy today or what? I don't know. I feel crappy. I don't know. Somebody said hard questions make you mad, Jim. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's clearly it. Luna, hello.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Luna.
Hi. Thank you for having me again.
Sure.
So I don't know if you recall, think beginning of January, I asked about my husband with his withholding of removal case. We did take your advice, and we were in the process of finding an attorney, but didn't think to look for a deportation attorney. And so we have been able to, we have one now, except that I am having some serious trust issues. So I wanted to confirm with you.
Okay. What did you hire the lawyer to do?
So he has his my husband has his ICE supervision check-in coming up at the soon. So we were curious if the attorney could accompany him. He said that by accompanying him, it wouldn't make a difference, that if they wanted to detain him, they would detain him at that time.
That's true.
There are no forms we can file ahead of time, like pre-deprivation or some form of motion for a stay or anything before that. We would have to wait until he's detained, file for a habeas, and within those 90 days, if they do not have a country to send him to, hopefully they'll discharge him. Essentially, he said he would be ineligible for a bond.
Because he entered without inspection?
Nope, he did. He was no, I mean, he entered on a business visa. He did come in legally and with inspection, no overstay. And that's what I'm curious about, is why wouldn't he be eligible for a bond? I think his plan is
because he has a removal order.
Yes. Yeah. But that's been withheld.
Yeah, but he still has a removal order, which
right.
That's why he can't get bond.
Okay.
Under this current administration's approach. So
okay.
Nothing you're telling me so far makes me worry about your lawyer. What's making you worried?
Honestly, I don't know at this point, because we've been hearing, I think we've consulted with so many attorneys, and you're the one that I've been following, and I'm like, maybe Jim needs, if there's anything sus about it, Jim will tell me, is what I'm thinking, because we've been hearing so many different approaches to this. Some recommended that we can open his withhold or file for a motion to reopen his case, and it being that we are from one of the banned countries, we're just going to hit another wall at this point.
I think that's right.
So our best bet, and I didn't agree with that, but our best bet is to basically just see how the check-in goes. And if he is detained at that point, just one fight at a time, I guess.
Is there
one battle at a time.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt you, Luna. Is there an I-130 that's already on file?
Yes. We have an approved I-130.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like this whole approach. I think you're doing everything right.
Okay. Well, thank you. That makes me feel better. And then one more question is that my mom was in the process of sponsoring her mom, my grandmother, to come to the U.S. for a visit. We went through all the process, and she's just waiting in Kenya for an approval or to get called for a visa or something. She's been there for about 2 months. What are the odds that she does get a visa, considering that we are one of the banned countries?
0.
That's what I thought. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks, Luna. Have a good day. Good luck to your husband.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Our friend Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Big ups to all the yardies. Don't we miss our yardies? Woohoo! Miss the yardies for sure. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope Donna's house and neighborhood is on the mend. Sending good vibes all the way to Jamaica, man. Don't you know? Have a red stripe for me, Donna. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Lady, what time tomorrow? Let's take a look. Tomorrow's the 13th. Looks like 2:30 tomorrow. 2:30. I got to go to traffic court. One of my family members, who's only 16, got a traffic ticket going too fast. So instead of taking care of it through the mail, we're going to go see the judge. Hopefully the judge will put some fear of the Lord in my 16-year-old. What do you guys think? I think that'll be fun. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks all for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Be kind to each other. Do something nice for somebody. Send out good energy for those who are suffering right now. I know all of you watching definitely care about immigrants, as do I. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.